Right, Swila, you're the one who was here the last time. If I quote you, say the real test as to our preparedness will come when we face Congo. Were you impressed?
Yes and no. Why yes? Yes, because we got a goal and were able to lead them for long spells until very late when we threw away that lead. No, because I saw some shaky defending there. We couldn't have conceded that goal. So it worries me with barely 4 days to kick off,
right,
that we'd concede such a goal. Matasi, again, showing us his erratic nature hasn't really left him. And being our first choice custodian in a tournament of this magnitude, it should ring some alarm bells. I don't know what Coach Minye told him in the dressing room after this game, but we can't afford really to concede a goal like the one we did against the Leopards, bearing in mind we are in a very, very tough pool. And there's no room for error actually in those matches, because when you're facing the Lions of Tiranga and of course facing Algeria, the Desert Foxes that is, you can't afford to give away goals of that nature. The brilliant piece of the good news is that Ayub Timbe, I like calling him the destructive winger. He struggled with injuries in the last 2 years, mostly in China, but we saw him sparkling in that game. A beautiful assist. Our video didn't capture that, but I just wish we had captured that. Wriggling his way past two markers and feeding Olunga.
Yes,
yeah, that was very, very beautiful. So if we can have Timbe in that form, I hope the injury scare he had is not anything major. We have Timbe in good form. We have Kahati in good form, and Paul Were. Remember what I told you last time, in this AFCON, actually our goals could come from the midfield. And I foresee that a lot, because if you Google today Harambee Stars players, the only players who are going to get their data very easily is Wanyama and Olunga. And of course the Senegalese, the Algerians know Olunga. They are going to man-mark him in this competition. So if he is man-marked, and I talked about his aerial strength, his physical strength and ability to hold play and invite the midfielders, it's the Kahatas and the Weres and wingers like Timbe who could bail us out. So I hope as the team flies to France and later to Egypt, Minye is going to polish those grey areas so that we are ready to go.
Ken Erickson Jeru amejiunga nasi pia. Ken Erickson, labda tuambie kwa hiyo game ya DRC na Kenya, ulifurahi naona nani Swila amesema hapo majina bana, ukisikia majina Desert Foxes sisi Harambee Stars, very intimidating.
Ndio hiyo by the way, kwa sababu ukiangalia ile mechi ya DR Congo na timu ya Harambee Stars, ni mechi ambayo niliweza kusikitika sana dakika ya 86, kwa sababu ile makosa ambayo Matasi alifanya ni makosa ambayo tuliona kwa African qualifiers wakicheza na timu ya Ghana, bao ambayo ilifanya timu ya Ghana kuweza kuqualify wakuwa number 1 kwa group ya qualifiers ya timu ya Harambee Stars. Lakini ukiangalia katika midfield ama kiungo ya timu ya Harambee Stars, wamejipanga sana. Unaweza ona connectivity ambayo iko kwa wale players. Ukiangalia kikosi ambacho kiliweza kuanza Tibe pale wakiwa na mchezaji Francis Kahata na Victor Mugubi Wanyama, ni connection. Kumbuka timu ambayo iko na solid midfield ni timu ambayo inaweza kutoa matokeo mema. Kwangu mimi timu ya Harambee Stars katika midfield yake sina shida nayo. Strike force pia iko sawa. Kidogo tu tuweze kuangalia katika goalkeeping ya timu ya Harambee Stars ambayo nasema Patrick Matasi, kumbuka aliweza kushika tuta la penalty katika mechi ikianza, na ameweza pia aliweza kushika kwa mechi ya Madagascar, aliweza kushika penalty. Kwa hivyo Matasi nafikiri kwa penalty ameweza kusharpen up. Na kumbuka kwa mechi ambazo unacheza na timu kama ya Senegal na timu kama ya Algeria, inaidhirisha timu ya Harambee Stars kukuwa na midfield njema sana, kwa sababu ukiangazia timu ya Algeria na timu ya Senegal si timu ambazo utasema ni timu ziko na wachezaji wengi ambao wanacheza professional football, kwa sababu ukiangazia timu ya Senegal utaweza kuona tu Sadio Mane wa timu ya Senegal si wengi, na ukiweza kuangalia Algeria, Riyad Mahrez wa timu ya Algeria si wengi.
Ni moja tu.
Yeah, sisi Harambee Stars tujivunie tuko na Mugubis wa timu ya Harambee Stars. Tukiingia kwa ile mechi mimi naona itakuwa group ambayo timu ya Harambee Stars kwa maoni yangu second round tutafika.
Chitena, what do you think?
I would like to fault Ken Erickson. Usijipumbaze, because you see the Lions of Teranga, that is the Senegalese team. Actually, in my head, sifikirie about Mane. Kuna kijana anaitwa Kuyate. Kuna kijana anaitwa Niang.
Sweetness.
Kuna kijana anaitwa Idrissa Gueye. I think Manchester United, you know him better because you understand what he did to you because anachezea Everton. Gueye, Idrissa. So to me, the threat hata sio Mane because as Swila said, Harambee Stars will go out marking Sadio Mane, forgetting that kuna Niang is a Torino player anachezea Serie A, but he's out on loan. Kuna kijana anaitwa Gueye anachezea Everton. Kuna kijana anaitwa Kuyate anachezea Crystal Palace. So these are the names that might really terrorize our defense as we speak, because ukiangalia game ya DRC Congo against Kenya, our defense really leaked, and coming some few days after Brian Mandela picking up an injury, I think it's a blow to Sebastian Minye's squad, because nafikiri when they traveled to France, he had Brian Mandela in his mind, and Brian Mandela picked up a knock in training in France, and I think it has really confused Sebastian Minye at the back. So Sebastian Minye, as far as defense is concerned, he'll go back to the drawing board.
Right.
Sababu kiangalia ile defense is shaky. Patrick Matasi is a very experienced goalkeeper, na blanda kama zile I don't think ni za kaliba yake. He should really grow above such mistakes, especially when going through such a very competitive tournament. Anafanya blunders like Hugo Lloris alifanya kwa World Cup, you remember? In as far as the midfield of France, as Ken Erickson put it, I can compare Kenya now to France because our strength is in the midfield. The arrival of Ayub Timbe and Michael Olunga is a plus to our squad. And I believe they are the ones who will help us. And I think it's a tactic that Sebastian Minye might want to use, that the best defense is attack. So let him sharpen the attack and utilize the speed up front as depicted by Ayub Timbe, so that you will try and cushion your defense. Sababu when you have a strong midfield that is really moving electric kama hiyo yenye uliona, it will help your opponents really coming deep into your defense. So to me, I think the draw tells you that it's a 50-50 team.
So it won't progress like
we have
Erickson anasema round 2
we have not picked up a win. We drew against Madagascar. We have drawn.
We won against one.
We won against Madagascar.
Oh, we won
1-0.
Yeah.
The penalty. Oh, it was a penalty.
But it was a win. Whichever way.
Okay,
either way.
It was a penalty. So to me, I think we are still at 50-50. Remember, Uganda picked up a very crucial win against Ivory Coast. And in the region, I think it's a team that we are really looking
according to the BBC this morning, and I was reading and I was expressing my frustrations to Kinazinzi. They seem to think that Tanzania is a team to look out for.
But Tanzania also lost in their friendly. So at least in the Kenyan group, Algeria wamejificha sana. We have not seen their play.
Maybe
so I think it's a team that Sebastian Minye really needs to look out. Sababu we have not really studied them.
We don't know them, yeah.
But their history with Kenya, utakumbuka kwamba tuko na history mzuri na wao as far as football is concerned. Hawajatufunga. If you ask Matthew Owino Automax, he will tell you what he did to them in Algeria in 1992. Yes. So to me, I think it's 50-50. As I repeat it, we pick a draw against Senegal, pick a draw against Algeria, chapa Tanzania, we are through.
Tuko ndani. All right, now, one of the concerns, and Shitera will remember this immediately, that when it was announced that we were qualifying for AFCON, one of the things I said was tusifike time kama hii tuanze kusikia hakuna pesa hii karea. Well, Nick Mwendo had something to say about, in fact, even the new kids. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Maximum with the goal. 3 steps, no more. Yes, Ayub.
Now we have kits delivered for AFCON. Every game will have new kits. And we have a deal that allows us to sell the replica and try and bring a culture of Kenyans wearing these kits.
Right, that's what they had to say. And remember, we've been talking about that, we talked about it here with Shikanda. I think.
Yes, Dan.
Yeah, sure.
And talking about how Wakenya wakitaka kununua jezi, most likely hiyo pesa haiendi to the team. But now there's a website, there's a portal that was launched where you can actually go and buy replicas of the shirts there with your car. Ukisema ukinunua Olunga, pesa inaenda kwa timu. Ukinunua Wanyama, ndani. Ukikahata hate, ndani. Hawa watu wote wako pale ndani. So what do you think about that front? Tukisema kwamba tuko sawa, Kitich, and we'll talk about the money in a little bit as well.
Kudos Nick Mwendwa so far, because since Nick Mwendwa took over, I think we've seen some transformation in as far as Harambee Stars is concerned. Mahali tuko tu na some notes that needs to be tied up ni kwa Kenya Premier League, because umeona how Kenya Premier League has been handled this season, matches being postponed last minute, game inachezwa inafika katikati ikiinterruptiwa, sijui kunakuwa na debate ianze afresh ama tuendelee. So those are the things that need to be tied up so that the Premier League will look as good as how the Harambee Stars is looking now, because as we speak, players have been paid. As we speak, wako mpaka na designer. Umeona wakipima suti. So they'll be jetting into Egypt in style. So to me, I think so far Nick Mwendwa has done a good job, and anahitaji kupongezwa sababu tumechapa friendlies. Kitambo tulikuwa tunapanga friendly match, ikifika date ya kucheza we postpone it, but we've honored all our friendly matches, and most of them nafikiri ndio zimejaribu kutuweka kwa FIFA ranking mahali tuko. A draw against DRC Congo itatupandisha in the FIFA ranking. So I think Nick Mwendwa has done a good job, the government has done a good job sababu the 50 million they promised the boys, they were given. On top of it, wakapewa marupurupu. So they are going to Egypt wakiwa motivated. And to me, I think the ball is in their court.
Firmly there. Right, also, before I bring in Swila and Ken Erickson, so there is also, Shitara has alluded to the fact that some money has already been paid as well to them. Let's take a look at what Nick Mwendwa had to say as regards to the players' allowances. And he said that I want to set the record straight. When we left Kenya, every player got $2,500. That's about $254,625 with the exchange rate. And we promised Kenyans when the coach releases his final 23-man squad, we will pay $5,000. That's $509,250. And I can tell Kenyans again that on Friday, which is this coming on to kick off, all players and the bench were paid all their money. So how players wako na suti, number one. Wako na about 700,000 give or take. Number two, Swila, do they now have an excuse to lose?
You see, for this crop of players, Raburu, history beckons for them. Gracing an AFCON is once in a lifetime chance. More so once when you come from a football nation that is considered a minnow like Kenya. Two, in that squad, there's no one who graced the last showpiece 15 years ago. Ole should have been there, but unfortunately is out injured. So these boys need not to be motivated by the monies, but they should go there knowing that an entire 40+ million Kenyans are relying on them to go and defend the flag, to do well, and to put Kenya on the map of football. So yes, the monies are there as a motivation, but now we want to see them replicate that on the pitch. Yeah, in Bible we say, to whom much is given, much is expected. Yeah, so much has been given to them. We expect them to do very, very well. It's a tough competition, and there's no margin for error here. Shitera was talking of Senegalese, but again, that's a team that's going to be very, very physical against us. Typical of West Africans, very strong, powerful players. The Algerians are very tactical and very speedy, very pacey game. We should expect that, and Minye by now should have devised a game plan of how he's going to counter that. The real cracking football will be against us with Tanzania, who are our neighbors. That's more of a derby. You talk to Tanzanians, they feel Kenya is the soft boy or the whipping boy.
It's the first time in 39 years.
Yeah, so they feel Kenya is the team to beat for them. They have to beat Kenya, that's the mteremko. Yeah. But Kenya also feel that Taifa Stars are the team that they can go and whip. So So as I said, it's going to be very, very delicate in that group. But the beauty of it is, out of these pools, 2 teams automatically qualify. Then, of course, there will be other 4 slots that will be up for grabs, depending on the goals you've scored and conceded and all that. But all said and done, Shitera said, yes, Nick has done tremendously well. We must give him credit for that. In a long time, there's no drama of so-and-so is demanding air ticket refund, so-and-so her team held in hotel. That's in the past now, in the back burner, which is a good thing. The government, again, pumping 250 million into the team. Not even athletics get this kind of support, Raburu. Remember, up to last week, and there are several athletes who have won medals across various world capitals. They have never gotten that incentive. So that's a plus. So those boys need to go there and sweat to the last drop to ensure that the Kenyan flag is defended, that we play courageously, beautiful football, get the goals, and once we're in the last 16, anything can happen. Because of football of 90 minutes, we can cruise to the quarters, and who knows, we can ride our luck all the way.
The person mwenye nimeona so far kwa hii panel hapa hivi akona hopes ni mimi tu na Ken Erickson. Sisi tunakufa na Kenya. Hakuna if but ama maybe, you know, but again it's very important to be realistic. But then Ken Erickson unaona vipi?
Mimi narudi tu pale nimesema. Kuna hii jambo watu wanasema Harambee Stars itakuwa walipata certificate ya participation 2004. So tunafaa tusahau hiyo na tuangazie kuingia kwa round of 16. Na mimi nitasema hapa hivi na nikumbushwe na Shitera wakiwa na Swila, kwa sababu ni wao wanaona hatuwezi ingia katika round of 16, lakini mimi naona tukiingia round of 16. Kumbuka tulikuwa na Zambia Chipolopolo.
Hatujasema hivyo.
Wengi walisema Zambia Chipolopolo hawezi make kikombe wakiwa finals na timu ya Ivory Coast. Kwangu mimi nina imani na timu ya Harambee Stars. Kama kuna shabiki ana imani timu ya Arsenal itaweza kuchukua ligi, mimi ni nani nisikuwe na imani Harambee Stars wanaweza chukua 2019. Maoni yangu kwa Jazi kumbuka imekuwa shida kubwa sana hapa Kenya. Jazi ambazo zinaingia hapa Kenya Shitero umesema vizuri sana kwa Kenya Premier League. Jazi pesa zao zinaendaka kwa individuals ambao wanakujanga na wanaweza tengeneza zile replica ambazo za klabu. Lakini ningeomba wa Kenya tukiendelea kusupport timu ya Harambee Stars, hizo replica zikikuja tuingie kwa ile website tununue, kwa sababu timu ya Harambee Stars kumbuka inahitaji support yetu, na kama timu haina support ya fans ambao ni supporters wa kutoka home, usi expect ile timu iweze kufanya vizuri katika African Cup of Nations. Na kwangu mimi Shitera nilisikia kitaja majina hapa hivi kwa timu ya Senegal. Nitamkumbusha timu ya DR Congo ina mchezaji kama Yannick Bolasie anachezea timu ya Everton. Kuna mchezaji kama Cedric Bokambu alikuwa anachezea timu ya Villarreal. Kuna mchezaji kama ambaye aliweza kufunga Adama Sauko anachezea West Ham United. Kwa hivyo ukiangalia timu ya Harambee Stars ikiweza kutoka draw na timu kama ya DR Congo ambao wako na majina pia wao, ni kumaanisha pia timu ya Harambee Stars tuko na ile imani ya kuweza kucheza na timu kama ile ya Senegal na timu ya Algeria. Kwa hivyo mimi naunga mkono jambo ya kusemekana Nick Mwenda ameweza kusaidia timu ya Harambee Stars hadi hapo, kwa sababu kumbuka motivation ndio kila kitu kwa mtu yeyote. Kumbuka hata hapa kazini ukipigwa motivation check kidogo tu kazi utafanya. Kwa hivyo mimi tu nitasema ile motivation ambayo timu ya Harambee Stars inamaanisha nini? Hiyo motivation wamepewa.
And you know Raburu,
expressed by Ken Erickson.
what we need to really urge fans, we don't want a scenario whereby we have kits or merchandise for sale and the guys are going to buy those fake ones in Modoro or in ABCD. They need to log on to the Federation website, the portal, or walk to Sports House, that's on Moi Avenue, buy the real merchandise so that those monies could go into safeguarding the welfare of the Federation and even the junior teams we have there. Remember, after this, we have a team that should go and grace the CHAN, that's African Nation Championship. They're going to need the monies. We have the under-20. So as a nation, we need to rally, not just by action, by words, but rather action. Let them go to the Sports House, buy, I think the new replica is trading at 3,500. The older ones are 2,500. So wasiende pale isli kununua zile fake. They support the team. Yeah. And again, I've been saying this, Raburu, this is not a time to start punching holes in Minye's squad.
Right.
Saying Joshua Nyango is 32 by saying 20. No. those boys need that psychological preparedness, and it has to come from us. Two, we are a country of 40+ million Kenyans. We can't all be the coach, let's agree. I could have my choices, but let's accept that we gave this job to Minye. Let him do his work. We are going to put him to account at the end of the tourney. If he feels Olunga and Masood are the best bet to lead that attack, so be it. But of course, we are going to ask the hard questions. We'll be with him in Cairo to file those reports, and we'll put him to task. But let's believe he's going to do the job. He has the good will from Kenyans, and this is not the time to politic. Remember, even in France, there's a lot of noise over the Real Madrid striker, Karim Benzema.
Yes.
He was left out, but Didier Deschamps stood his guns. He went ahead and won the World Cup with that squad. Remember the case of Romario with Brazil, Coach Dunga, ahead of the 2002 World Cup in Japan and South Korea. There's a lot of noise. Even fans were actually baying for his blood on the streets of Rio de Janeiro. He went and silenced them by winning that World Cup. Yeah. So yes, Fox, you might know football, but Minye is the coach. He has to make that call.
But there are other scenarios where a coach left out an important player and punished then, for that. You remember Joachim Low leaving out Leroy Sané.
But that squad of Jama, the machine didn't function. It collapsed totally. Even if Sané would have there, he couldn't have salvaged.
He would have brought in some spark in the attack. But after all, Leroy Sané ndio nilikuwa natajia huyu Ken Erickson. Leroy Sané is a Senegalese. Wewe angalia tu haya majina. Ni mtoto wa Solomon.
His roots.
Lakini nikisupport Swila hapa nitasema the late Fabish. Unapendanga sana kumkumbuka sana huyo. Aliweza kusema Kenya inakuanga na coaches 40 million. So
Neo, all right. Here's a question as we take a break. Here's a question that we want you to respond to. Do you think the Stars will shine at AFCON? Do you believe, in fact, the thing is not think, but do you believe that Stars will shine at AFCON? SMS 2242, the hashtag to use is Daybreak, and at Citizen TV Kenya. That's the way you can reach us. So do you believe that the Harambee Stars will shine at AFCON? And I'll continue echoing the sentiments here ya kwamba lazima tuwa support. Enda pale kwenye, if you know their handles, in fact, they should be like a social media
platform
brief, yes, from FKF or wherever. At least we know Victor Wanyama's, we know Olunga. That's where we see his goals.
Sasa hiyo ni kazi ya Bari.
Sasa
it's a challenge to Bari.
Yes, we need to. Yeah, we need to at least roll them out. Just give us all their handles so that we flood them with encouragement, we flood them with you can do this. Hata wakifail tuko hapo ndani. Tunawaflood, hatuta give up, hatutaenda nyumbani. We will not give up. Tunakuwa pale na tutashinda. Let's take a short break, and when we come back we'll talk more about how mtu kama Messi had a very tough weekend, and also Pogba amesema is a wrap. More on that when we come back.